What's up, Daniel?
How you doing, Michael? Good to see
I'm
you,
doing
brother.
well. Likewise, man. Likewise. How you living?
I'm good. I see your Lakers there in the background, and it's funny. I miss sports a lot.
Oh man. Well, the draft's happening right now, so we'll see how my 49ers do.
Yeah, you know what? I am excited about it. It's like this. I'm tempering everything right now, though, to be excited, but
Hmm.
be unsure. Is there going to be a season to be excited about?
Exactly. Well, I'm a season ticket holder, so that's even more concerning.
Yeah.
They're still billing us for our season tickets, so we'll see what happens.
Well, if you can afford season tickets, they expect that you can afford to pay for them with or without football.
Exactly. Hey, man. So I mean, COVID happened. Last time I saw you, I think was here in the Valley. We doing some work with Automation Anywhere. So I'm just curious, like, how's business? How's life? Being, uh, having to stay at home. I know the family's there, so that's a good thing. But overall, how's business?
Yeah, it's been a ride. I mean, we are the Futurum Research. For everyone that don't know me or anything. So Daniel Newman, principal analyst at Futurum Research. So depending if you're seeing this out of my stream or out of Michael's stream here, but we're in the high tech analysis research media play for the tech industry. So we're sort of born on tech. We've been working home when we're not traveling. The biggest difference for me is, I went 47, 48 weeks a year on the road to literally doing everything at home. All
Yeah,
of the business, all of the briefings, all of the events have gone digital. Um, because we always focused on sort of being the tip of the spear of analysts, meaning reaching big communities, having tier one channels that we talk to, publish to, promote to. We've become we've actually found ourselves kind of advising the tech industry in a little bit of a different way. A lot of them are
yeah.
asking us to give them feedback on how to do this better, how to be better
Hmm.
at digital.
Yep.
Because a lot of them, the events were everything. They were the signature moments, and even their digital content really was born out of the event. It was born out of, like, let's capture this at the event. Let's capture
Yep.
content, share it, get social. And the habits weren't necessarily, the hygiene of their digital wasn't necessarily as good in between.
Yeah.
And now a lot of companies, even though they're in tech and they're super technical and they understand it all, the transformation of the marketing hadn't necessarily been there. So it's been really interesting to watch, but
Hmm.
it's kept me really busy. A lot of podcasting, Michael, a lot of,
Same here, bro.
webcasting, webinars, video, right? New ways of creating
Yeah.
content. And I think the industry is going to need to really up its game big time.
Agreed. Man. Agreed. So, you mentioned, events being canceled, customer events, industry events. I have a couple clients that, their largest event of the year is their sales pipeline for the next 3 years moving forward. And so a lot of people are scrambling, like, okay, how do we fill this pipeline? What do we do? And I think, you talk a lot about digital transformation. The industry's been talking about this for what, 6, 7, 8 years. And I almost feel like this COVID-19 is catapulting that escalation or that the adaptation to being more digital. And you have clients everywhere. I see you. I'm not going to name names and name drop, but I'm just curious, do your clients, are they trying to figure out how to scale, how to, what's the right software, what's the right process, who are the right people internally, so that we can stay in business and continue to make money?
Yeah, I think there's been waves. So almost like a 12-step program or whatever, there's been the COVID wave. I mean, the first wave was, are we going to cancel everything? What are we doing? And we
Yep.
kind of felt that. Are we going to have events? Are we not going to have events? Should we travel? Should we not travel? And then right around the time that Mobile World Congress got canceled, you started to see like this wave of companies canceling. The second part of the wave was, let's take our analog event, let's take our in-person live event, and let's make it digital. And it was
Hmm.
basically just like it was the Zoom boom. It was the WebEx boom. Like, let's just literally throw our event exactly almost as we planned it. We'll have all of our sessions. And that was a bust. I mean, that was terrible.
Hmm.
Everyone's sitting at home, like, yeah, let's sit in front of our computers for 8 straight hours and just suck up your content. I don't think what a lot of tech companies don't understand, or a lot of companies in general don't understand, most people don't want to do it all day when they're at the event. People are
Hmm.
at the events for a lot of reasons, and it's not usually for the sessions. That's the total transparency. Like, I love the keynotes at most tech big events, like the energy of walking into those massive amphitheaters within like the casinos in Vegas and seeing keynotes in
Hmm.
front of 50,000 people and hearing about like the coolest things. But then as every day goes on and the sessions break into the big rooms, the small rooms, the tiny rooms, the huddle rooms, it gets pretty, it gets to be a grind after 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And trying to do that all digital while we're sitting around at our computers, getting distractions, having our kids running around the house. And by the way, having this from 5, 10, 15, in my case, maybe 50 plus companies all trying to vie for the same time and attention. Something different has to be done. This doesn't mean it was done all wrong in the past. It just means there's a really big opportunity. If the live event platform is no longer, there's a big opportunity to change.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned Zoom, and they went from like media darling to the security issue, which I'm sure you were following. I'm a huge fan of Zoom, and I know the CEO is a great guy. I have a lot of friends who work there, being here in the Valley, and their capability is good. I mean, it works typically. When you plug something in, it's like a Mac, right? You plug it in, and it just connects and it works. I've never had an issue with the Zoom. Curious as to what your perspective is on just what kind of they're going through from a security standpoint. They've been pretty transparent about it, and I think they hired the former CISO from Facebook to be a consultant and help kind of figure out the security of the platform. Would love your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Zoom's an interesting one for me. First of all, they had the best analyst event of any digital event that I attended. So kudos of using their own platform to do a decent job. Got a pair of custom Nike shoes for attending.
I saw those.
That was super cool. Winning. Yep. I'm a little bit. I like Zoom, but I'm not a Zoom bull. And what I mean by that is, so I use the platform. In fact, before I started using StreamYard for a lot of recording, because it was more like television, I use Zoom for my podcasting platform. In fact, it was funny when the whole boom happened. There's been security issues for Zoom, but there's also been technical platform issues for Zoom. So they got overloaded. And so it was funny because we were recording podcasts, Pat Moorhead and I, who do our show, The 6-5, and we were doing, and I usually record them to the cloud. It was taking like 5 or 6 days to get the downloads. And I was trying to get support. I couldn't get support. I couldn't get a response. Fortunately, I know some people at Zoom. So I actually sent an email to the analyst relations manager, and he kind of just told me, yeah, we know there's problems. But now you're talking about an enterprise platform, and I'm a paid customer. And I couldn't get a response. I couldn't get any help. So it was funny though. I ended up getting, in touch. I talked to the media a lot. And so I tweeted about this, and I got a call from a journalist at the Wall Street Journal. And so I did an interview with the Wall Street Journal about Zoom. And I did this whole quote. It was really funny. The quote was something along the lines of, I love the platform. I think Zoom works really, really well, but I think they've hit their capacity. And I think that they really need to take some of the investment to beef up their support and beef up their security, or else it could be the company's demise. So the whole preface that I said, the part about, I think it's a great platform and it works really easy, they left that out. And all they said is the article that quoted me said, I think the platform has overcapacity and this is going to be the company's demise. So that was the only part of my quote that ended up going in the journal. So
did it go live?
Yeah, it was in the Wall Street Journal. And so, that was funny. But that's why I always joke about, there is some elements of quote unquote fake media that are real. There was nothing fake about the article. That was exactly what I said. But when you take it out of the full context of my comment, it made it sound like I hate Zoom. And I like Zoom. But I think that I didn't really touch on the security. Listen, they've got to step up the game on security. They do. Because to your point, why do we all like it? We all like it because it's easy. But selling data to Facebook, having data running through whitelisted Chinese servers in the midst of a very tenuous time between our relationships with China, saying that they're end-to-end encryption, fully encrypted, and then it coming back to not be true. So yeah, Eric's an awesome dude. Company's really cool, great business model. I hope, I don't buy stocks in tech, but if you were in tech or if you're into stocks, God, it seems like a really solid
smart
buy.
move, yeah.
Although it's kind of maybe overbought at this point, but all I'm saying is I like Zoom. So I've got to put the preface in it, but I do think the company needs to up its game to make sure its security matches what Cisco and Microsoft are doing, because that's the standard that it's going to be held to as an enterprise tool.
Yeah. Speaking of enterprise, I'm predicting that they're going to launch a consumer product. They have to. I mean, every millennial, tween, all of my daughter's friends, they're Zooming, right? They're Zooming for class. They're now having Zoom like gatherings, right? Where they're all in video. It just has to be, it just makes sense just because it's like a verb now. Everybody says, let's Zoom.
Yeah.
So that's, I tweeted something about that, and it got no one picked it up. But I
It
mean,
was
there
funny.
was
I went yesterday. No, Monday. I went on Bloomberg Tech, and I did a post earnings for IBM, but they ended up asking me about Zoom, and Emily Chang, who's the host.
I know Emily Chang.
Yeah, the host of Emily. She called Zoom the darling of COVID or something like that when she asked me about them. So yeah, Zoom's definitely gotten the love. But I mean, all the collab platforms, WebEx has seen massive growth. Microsoft Teams is 4x. There's a bunch of little platforms. You heard Blue Jeans got acquired by Verizon in the middle of this. There's a new platform I've been looking at a long time, Pexip, that was built by a bunch of former Cisco WebEx folks that were actually part of Tandberg, which goes back a day. And of course, Poly has seen a boom in hardware. So I mean, the whole industry, that if there's been a part of tech that's exploded, it's been devices, personal devices, and collaboration. I mean,
unified communications is
it's a rage right now.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for doing this with me, and hopefully we can see each other soon and share a beer.
Yeah, for sure, buddy. It's good to do it live. It's good to do it on video. It's always good to talk to you, Michael. Thanks for asking me to chat, and be well, and let's talk more soon.
Likewise, man.